back to you. Go on, Woodson. You ever pray with all your heart and soul just to watch her walk away? Maybe the bad, bad thing. Maybe the bad, bad thing. Maybe the bad, bad thing. I feel like crying. Feel like crying.
Good evening, my crime family. How is everybody doing tonight? We have another special show here at Once Upon a Crime Time. We have Mr. ANTWAAN Woodson from my old Facebook group, the Idaho Murderers, which I don't know, I'll have to ask him how many is in there, but I think it's like 100,000 people. I don't know. It's there's a lot of people. And we used to have to stick together because of all the guilters coming down on us and all that kind of stuff. But I want to get to saying my highs to my crime family. Hello there, Miss Lila. Good to see you. Deborah Lynn, my girl. Good to see you. Moonflower Laza, good to see you. Hope your headache goes away soon. Leslie, good to see you. Cindy, good to see you. Carrie, good to see you. Natural Healing, my girl, good to see you. Kathleen, my girl, good to see you. Melissa, good to see you. Deborah Gazzardo, always good to see you, girl. Nikki Watson, always good to see you, girl. And Hope Norris, too. And Cindy, Kat K, my girl, good to see you. Ashla K, good to see you. And Carol C, good to see you. And yeah, there's a lot of chatters in here, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to go all the way up here. Deborah Ackland, good to see you. Crime Spy, good to see you. Wade Bird, good to see you. Crime Vault, good to see you. Oh yeah, we got some chatters going on tonight. And this should be a very different night. Yeah, you're going to get to know ANTWAAN here a little bit. I used to go watch him on Facebook. And let me introduce to you now Mr. ANTWAAN Woodson. Hello, brother. How you doing? You are live.
What's good, Tommy? What's good, family? What's good, people? How everybody doing?
You're right. They're all doing good. They're chatting up a storm, brother.
well, we finna keep them chatting. We finna make them. You know how they say that the gossip neighbor always talking. We finna give them some gossip about.
Right.
Yeah,
so what's been going on over? What's been going on over in our little group over there? I haven't gotten in there for a long time. So what is it the same? Is it all the guilters coming down on you and all that?
Well, I'm gonna say that you gotta have thick skin to be in that Idaho group. You gotta have thick skin because they come in packs. They come in packs. The non-guilty, they come next. But you know me, I invite the argument. You know what I'm saying? Because it's nothing. You know, they just got opinion like I got opinion. But it's still happening over there. I still do my lives. I still do my thing.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, you're one of a kind. There's no doubt about it. Over on that in that channel.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're the only one I really miss going over there. I started my channel just because to get out of there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. For real though, you know, it'd be hard over there because I see things different than a lot of people. That's why I'm glad you gave me this opportunity to speak, to tell what I call my truth.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Right. And let's get into your truth. What is your truth, ANTWAAN? I know you have theories, and some people might not like it. Some people might not agree, but that's your opinion. Right. So, and you're allowed to have that. So,
exactly.
Yeah. What is your theory?
Well, my truth is like none of us who do this on YouTube or how we do it on Facebook, TikTok, we can't really get justice, right? But we can show truth, right? What we call our truth.
Right.
What I call my truth is, I feel like law enforcement is involved in these murders. And I mean, like, they actually did some unliving. You know what I'm saying? They did some unaliving, right? Because everything that you see leads back to law enforcement, right? So I
Kind of
always tell
does,
people
yeah.
this, right? I always tell people this, right? I always ask someone this: if the sheath, right, is
Hmm.
proven to be planted, does that mean law enforcement know the killer?
A lot of people think that. A lot of people think that.
If the sheath is proven to be planted, common sense tell me law enforcement knows the killers, right?
Right.
So let's let's go back to the beginning, right? So everyone can understand why I feel like law enforcement is the cause of these kids' death. They involved in them. If not two, at least three, and a couple frat kids.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because
Uh-huh.
one man cannot contain four people in two different rooms on two different floors with one knife. It's impossible.
Right.
If I hear
How about when
something up here, if I hear something up here and I'm down here, I'm gone. And that's vice versa, right? So you
right.
trying to tell me first they wanted the world to believe that these kids that lost their innocent life, like I'm getting a little emotional because I'm attached to these kids. They want us to believe that
Yeah.
these kids were asleep, didn't
That
hear
what?
nothing, right?
They want us to believe what? What was that, Anton?
That the kids died in their sleep. Remember the
Yeah,
first
that's a
thing
bunch of
was?
that's a bunch of bullshit. How can they die in their sleep when they got defensive wounds?
Exactly. But we didn't know that at first until we find out Zane almost lost her fingers, right?
Right.
Okay. So they flipped the theory. They had to put DM upstairs because she couldn't give you no description from downstairs. You understood? Because at first they were downstairs asleep, they didn't hear nothing, right?
Right. Yep.
So now they have to move DM upstairs so she could be able to give a physical description once they lay their eye on what they're
Right.
trying to
Oh,
do.
I get you. I get you. Yeah, they had to do that. They had to
They
do
had
that.
to do
Right.
that. But but
Right.
but if you ask yourself, right, because you got footage, if you ask yourself, was DM really there? Because on police body cam, we see her truck go by at 3 o'clock.
Right.
At 3 a.m. on police body cam. But was she in that truck? That we don't know. That we don't know. But from the
Yeah.
picture that you seen her standing in front of the big truck, that's the same truck that went by on police body cam at 3 a.m. Right?
Okay.
Then you got I'm gonna throw this in here before I get there. Do you remember them guys that went inside the house with the cowboy hat on?
Yeah.
No one knew who the guy was, right? I don't believe they were FBI's because there wasn't no badge around his neck. They were dodging the camera. That same van passes by on Taylor Road at 2:58, 2 minutes before DM truck go this way. That same gray minivan that they got in is coming this way. You understand what I'm
Oh wow.
saying?
Yeah. Okay.
It's at 2:58 on police body cam when they messing with the kids in Banfield.
Right.
When they messing with the three kids,
Yep.
at 2:58, you see a gray minivan, the same minivan that they got in, the people that left the house, go this way, and 2 minutes later, DM truck go this way. But let's get back to why I feel like law enforcement is our killers, right?
Yeah.
The morning of the tragedy, right?
Right.
Law enforcement was already on the scene before the dispatch even called the paramedics. Before the paramedics get there, law enforcement they already got
A lot.
everything
A lot of
situated.
people believe that. Yeah. A lot of people
No,
believe
it's
that. Yeah.
true. And
Yeah.
then when the paramedics do show up, they wave them off. Paramedics don't even go in the house till they can help one of these
No, they
kids,
didn't. Right.
right? Law enforcement got there mighty early, mighty fast, right? Because I feel like law enforcement was in that house all night, right?
Okay.
Hmm? Then
And
you
no
gotta go number no.
911. Christine Marie says no 911 call either. You know?
No 911 call, none of that. Okay, now you
Right.
got now you go to fish fry. Let's go to fish fry. Right? Let's go to fry, Officer Fry, right?
Fish
He
fry.
tell, yeah, fish fry. He tell the community that is no threat to the community. He didn't have a suspect. He didn't have nobody in custody. And he was reading off of paper, so there's nothing he just said off. Hey, he was reading. That's because he know the killers. He know whoever was supposed to been unalive that night, it was handled. He know it wasn't no more threat to no more kids, right? That what he meant, but he couldn't just say that, right?
Right.
Okay. Then you got how fast they cleared everybody. Cleared everybody super fast. Super fast, super fast. And it's a video where Steve Gun Calvin's clout chaser say they had Jack D DNA. What you mean by they had Jack D DNA? He was trying to leak something on the slide or either leave room for another interview because he always do that, mislead, have talk. He always do that. So he say, just like he knew they had Jack D DNA. Now, you say to yourself, well, wow. Okay. If he say Jack D DNA, so he trying to put Jack D at the crime scene, from my understanding. So now you ask yourself, the phone calls from Katie and Maddie.
Right.
Now you ask yourself, since clout chasing Steve Gun Calvis want to say they had Jack D DNA, since he want to bring that out, and I don't know if he clout chasing or if he for real, but since you want to bring that out, it add more to my truth, right?
Okay.
It's the phone calls by if Jack D was there, like SG just put him there by saying they had his DNA, right? I am admitting, I interpret it like, whoa, you trying to leak something because of your comments before you said that, right? So you say, what if Jack D was dialing his own number, right? Because that, but by them saying that Jack D, they call Jack D all the time, that automatically give him an alibi. Because you weren't gonna think that he wasn't there because they called him, right?
Right. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? If I'm calling
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. The average person gonna think they wasn't there, but that automatically gives me an alibi because they keep by how many times they called me, by all the missed calls, they give me an alibi already, right? But Jack D, the thing about Jack D got two alibis. He was asleep and he was playing video games. Now it make what Steve Gun Calvin said more valid to my point. Whoa, hold up. Now it make me think the girls didn't even call him that many times because you can hear the screams on Linda Lane. You understand what I'm saying? By them girls calling, by they calling Jack D so much, it automatically gave him an alibi, right?
Right.
So now you say you go back to Payne. I mean, not Payne, you go back to Fish Fry, Officer Fry. He was was it a kidnapping? He said no. He said no. According to him, he don't really know that. He said no. But of course it was a kidnapping because these kids was held against their will. Whether it was one person or four person, it was a kidnapping. When you held against your will, that is a kidnapping.
Right. Correct. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
No
I've
one.
actually, Antoine, I've actually heard, some people's theories that they weren't even unalived, that they were actually kidnapped and in trafficking. I've heard that theory too.
I don't heard theory that Kaylee's sister baby is not her baby, is Kaylee baby, Kaylee in witness protection. I done heard some wild stuff, right?
Right, right. Yeah, we all
Yeah.
we've heard
We done heard
wild stuff.
we done heard some wild things, man. Right?
I've even created some. I've even created some of that wild stuff.
At this case right here, you can create whatever you want because the law enforcement done made a mess. They done made a mess. Okay, so
Right.
let's get back to the task at hand, right? Let's get back to
Yeah, get back to it.
he telling me it wasn't no kidnapping. He told the world that when it was a kidnapping. Whether they were just killed in that house, that they could not leave on their own will. You feel me? So that's kidnapping.
Yep.
That's kidnapping, right? Okay. Yep. Now,
I think they changed that like a decade ago or something, didn't they? Didn't they? There was like a different meaning to kidnapping, but what you're saying now, that is kidnapping. It's being held against the law. Right.
Okay, so now you think about the court hearing that just passed with Maury and Payne and Saray. A lot of crucial evidence is missing.
Big time, yeah.
Okay, a lot of crucial evidence is missing. So now that if you're a thinker, that's gonna make you say, okay. So now they giving me the assumption that they framed this man. He went the other way. He took that right and he gone or whatever, however it supposed to win. Right?
Right. Yep.
So now it made what Dylan said she saw invalid. Because if it's a frame, it's no way Dylan saw the things that she saw. Them are the things that she was told to say, if she even said it. Right?
Right. Yeah,
about,
I can see
about
that.
a man
Yeah.
clad in black, bushy eyebrows. She never saw them things. If this proved to be a frame from what it started to look like. She never saw them things. She never saw nobody with no bushy eyebrows. She never opened her door 3 times.
Yeah, she was just told to say that, right? That's what you're saying. She was just told to say that. Right.
She never picked BK out of a lineup. Never.
Yeah,
never.
No. Nope.
She was told to say that. So now you look at it and say, whoa. From the court hearings with these cell phone guys and with Cyrene coming here and doing his thing, everything that he's telling us is a lie. So that means the seed was planted. That means Ellie know the killers. Are they are the killers? Okay. Let's go to this here. What about when the police took pictures of Kayla ID? And I'm gonna tell you why that's important to me. Them taking a picture of Kaylee ID is something huge to me for the simple fact. I feel like these murders couldn't and wouldn't took place if Kaylee was still at her mom's house. Why? Why I say that? Why you say that?
Wait. If Kaylee was what?
If Kaylee was at her parents' house?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like these killers wouldn't and couldn't have. And I got my reason for saying that. Because Kaylee can identify every frat boy, every dirty cop, part of the drug dealers, because this is behind drugs. Every drug dealer, she can point them out. Right? Okay. So it's important that Kaylee get back here. So they tried first with Dylan. give her invite +1. Did it
Right.
work? I don't know, but we already know she was going back to show off her new car, right?
You're right. Yep.
So,
But yeah,
right,
Dylan invited her, which I always thought was a little fucking strange, dude.
right, because these killings could not take place with Kaylee at her parents' house, because Kaylee could identify every last one of them. You understand me? So
Say that one more time.
the killings would have not and could not happen if Kaylee was at her parents' house. For the simple fact, Kaylee could identify all the frat boys, the dirty cops, drug dealers. She could identify them.
Right.
It
Okay,
wouldn't work.
Right.
It would have never happened if Katie was at her parents' house. When Katie got back, it had to happen then and then only, because she was leaving Tuesday. Now, that's why them taking the picture of her ID is so important to me, because I felt like if she would have stayed, maybe she would have got something would have happened to her down the line. That's the reason they took her picture, to be able to pass it along, whatever, for whatever went on. What I feel went on, and I'm gonna give you my theory on that. Like I said, this is behind drugs. That's my motive, right? The cops haven't given you no motive. The cops haven't gave you not one motive besides this man was stalking, and now they done threw that out the window. Old Slim Shady Bill Thompson said it out his own mouth. No stalking. That's out the window. So what is your motive now, law enforcement? When you gonna give these parents a reason to why their kid is gone? You haven't given them no motive to why their kids is no longer with us.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Because law enforcement is involved. Okay. You got the house. Let's go. Let's talk about the house. The owner of that house was making a lot of money. They're making a lot of money off that house. He donated the house. He donated the house to the school. The school tell the world they tear it down because it's bad memories or whatever they tell the world, right?
Right.
They tear the house down. Not only do they tear the house down, they bury the house. Why?
Right.
Is it possible that law enforcement DNA is in that house? Is it possible that the 3 unknown DNA, at least one of them belong to law enforcement, if not all 3?
Well, the law enforcement DNA would be all over. Well, yeah, actually, it shouldn't be, because they would be wearing gloves. You know what I'm saying?
Why is it was some DNA found on the glove outside, right?
Right.
Okay. Why is their house gone? You think they did that to protect some frat kids? No. No, because if let's say this right here. Let's say even if the frat kids did it, right? The school gonna lose money. The school will lose money and scholarship, but they can bounce back from that. Couple years, kids still got to get an education. People still gonna go. You see what the Chapmans did? You see what the Chapmans did after this horrific crime? They kids went back to school, right?
Yeah.
But can the police department bounce back from this if it's proven that they're involved with these murders? They already don't trust the police down there. They're scared of them. Can the police department bounce back if they're proven to be involved in these murders? Like I feel in my heart they is.
Okay.
They won't be able to bounce back from that. That university will. So what I'm trying to say is they did not tear that house down to stop the memories, because it could be an empty lot. Every time somebody drive by, walk by, ride they by,
it's going to be the same thing.
That's where the Idaho 4 happened at.
It's going to be the same thing if the house is there or not. Right.
You put a store right there. They still gonna say that's where the Idaho 4 happened at. So by you tearing that house down, saying you're doing it for people walking by memories don't change nothing. You tore it down because law enforcement DNA is inside that house.
Right.
It's the only reason they were buried up. Not just tear an active crime scene down, they buried it.
Right. Okay. I want to tell something to my crime family here now. The reason why I'm having Antoine on here is because he's got different ideas than what we've heard throughout YouTube land here. He's got very different ideas, and it needs to be told. This story needs to be told. All right. Okay. Go ahead there, Antoine.
Okay.
All right. Oh, you got a stogie or what?
No, this is like a cigar. When I first when I first came to this case, right, got involved, my girl would tell me about the 2 survivors. I was like, what you mean 2 survivors? She say 4. I said, you say 4 people got killed? What, somebody went and killed with a gun? She said, no. Somebody, they got stabbed up, but it's 2 survivors. I said, well, the 2 survivors must know the people. She like, no, they ain't hear nothing. They ain't hear what, no stabbing, no screaming. That's what got me into the Idaho folk. Right. I'm like, what? Because I see this all the time. I see crime like this all the time, and you don't see no survivors unless they ran. But these 2 girls stayed inside the house, alleged. Right?
Right.
Yeah, so it's totally different. You're looking at it totally different. So once I got to get into this case, I got a text to Ethan, Zayna, Maddie, and Kaylee. I got hooked on, I was like, whoa. I was with SG. I was down with the Gun Calvin's family at first until they went to cloud chasing. When they went to cloud chasing, some reason, I say, no, I'm not feeling them. Then guess what popped up? Because I always thought drugs was the motive. Guess what popped up in my hand?
That's the very first thing I thought, too.
Yeah, from one of my sources. One of my sources say that Steve brother is in prison for murder over drugs.
Yeah.
So I say, wow. Yeah. I say, wow, right? So now I'm gonna give you the drug theory, my drug theory. I still haven't heard the Gun Calvins yet give a clear answer to how Kaylee was able to afford that car. All I heard them say, she was so excited to buy her new car and this and that. How did she get the money for that car? How did she
What's that?
We still haven't got a clear answer to how she was able to afford that car.
Hold on, Anton. Your mic is cutting out. Give it a couple seconds and see if it straightens out here a little bit. Yeah, give it a couple seconds. It might be like a lag or something going on. Go ahead and try.
I'm good.
Hello. Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
I'm good. You can hear me?
I think so. Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
okay. What were you saying now?
Y'all share this video. Yep. Share this video, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm representing. Before I start, I got to let new coach. I got my own group, Wide Open Combo, on Facebook, and I got some day ones in there. I mean, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my group, because they encouraged me. Number of kind of words. So I wouldn't be here for real.
Kind of like my family here, kind of the same thing, except you got a family over in Facebook.
Yeah, my family. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here for all of us. You know what I mean? I'm here representing for all of us. You know what I mean? I wish I could just call everybody's name, but I don't want to call names and leave somebody out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But but how did Kaylee afford that car? My theory.
Yeah.
It's what I think went on. It's what I think went on. It's a rumor going around that Maddie flushed some drugs. You heard that,
I started that rumor. Yeah, I started that a long time.
Okay, it's a rumor going around she flushed some drugs, but then you see it on 4chan where people saying Maddie Porter did some with some drugs. Okay, This is what I think happened. I don't think Maddie flushed no drug.
Okay.
I think Kaylee was Kaylee drug. Listen, I feel like it was Kaylee drug. She was doing her thing. She had too many bank accounts, and everybody always sending Kaylee money. If you look, everybody's sending $20 for chicken, hamburgers. How much money do Kaylee have to be giving everybody what they owe her? How much money do she lend out to where all these people is sending her money like she been lending out money? But they use thank you for the ride, thank you for the chicken, thank you for the hamburger. All that's
Right,
coke talk.
right,
All that's coke talk.
right. Yeah,
It
I
looked
figured that.
more. In my eyes, it looked more like she gave them a front, and now they just get their money. They paying her now.
Yeah, and
That's
I
what
used to
it looked
front.
to me.
When I was in the business, I fronted all the time. As a matter of fact, I still got $28,000 some on the books, dude.
Well, that what it looked like to me, right? So I feel like Kaylee told Madison to say she flushed the drug. And Kaylee left, went home. Nobody know why Kaylee went back home. I still don't know. Do you know, Tommy?
Do I know
Do
what?
you know why Kaylee went back home?
Do I know why she went back home?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, either way.
Okay. I feel like Kaylee told Maddie to say you found the drugs, you flushed the drugs, you tired of me doing this and doing that, because you got to remind you, Kaylee figured you ready to go to Texas. Okay. Kaylee go back home with the money. She get that Range Rover.
Right.
She coming back to show Maddie. Maddie go to the bar. Tell Adam, what you tell Adam? I told Adam everything. Is it possibly that she told Adam, I found the drug. I'm tired of y'all using Kaylee. I flushed them shits.
Right.
Cause when Kaylee say, what do you tell Adam? She told him everything. Kaylee didn't have to say, what is everything? She already know.
Well, you know what? I'm going to stop you there for a second, because I have a friend, okay, another creator friend on YouTube, who's been investigating this shit, and she's got onto the car that Kaylee bought, and she's getting into it where the car was a big part of the problem. It might be why this happened, was because of the car, the Range Rover. And she's onto this shit, dude. She's onto this stuff. And now this matches up with what you're saying.
Now, I'm just saying no one can give you a clear answer of where she got the money for the Range Rover. Now, Steve Gunkevin, he's riding around in the Range Rover, and this can be the reason your daughter is dead, man. Give that car to your daughter, to another one of your daughters. Chrissy says she can't even get in the car, but he riding around in the car, and this could be the reason his daughter dead. Okay. And y'all share this video. Y'all get my boy views up. Share this video. Y'all share this video. Hit that like button. Hit that like button when y'all come in the building for Tommy. Hit that like button. This is epic.
Thank you. Yeah, hit the like button.
You'll never get this again. Not raw like this. Okay. I feel like Maddie told Adam what Katie told her to take a rep. I told him to flush it. Bloop, bloop, bloop. They want to say Adam, she told Adam she wanted to get back with Jack. They were just at the corner club with Jack. Katie is a beautiful girl. And you can tell she's not shy. She was right there with Jack. She would have told Jack, what's up?
At 1:30. Yeah, she was talking to him at 1:30 in the morning there. Yeah.
She was right there. She's not no shy girl.
Yeah.
She would have told him, hey, I want to try it again. And let us get chance again. Or she want a booty call. Hey, come over at such and such when I get home. None of that. So when people say Maddie told Adam that Katie want to get back with her, that's BS. That's oodles and noodles baloney.
Right. I agree.
Because you got to understand. You got to understand what JS said to Maddie, saying, I told him everything. They're going to get you for that, Maddie. So we know Maddie ain't tell him nothing about no Katie want to get back with Jack D. It's baloney. Okay. Tommy, you there?
Yep, I'm right here.
Okay, I'll make a show. So let me refer to my notes because I smoke a lot of weed. I got a bad memory. Okay, let's go over here. That's the motor drug. It's alleged that she had all these bank accounts. I'm talking Kaylee.
10, yeah.
She taking trips around the world. These girls was in Hawaii, Jamaica, Miami, Seattle, Arizona. These girls was everywhere. Where's the money coming from? Trips ain't free.
Right.
Trips is not free. Hotel rooms is not free. Flights is not free. To eat is not free. Where's all this money coming from?
Right.
Right? Okay. Yep. Now, to lead more to my drug theory, let's switch to Zayna and Miss Cara. Cara was finally charged September 13, 2022. She took a plea deal to get her sentence reduced.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
The next day, I don't know who the drug dealer is or whatever, he was arrested for trafficking. September 14, 2022. He was arrested for trafficking. Him and another lady. Him and a lady. Okay. Now, it's a stepmom also that was arrested, right? But I don't know if that was Maddie's stepmom. I don't know whose stepmom, but I know it's not Ethan or Katie because their parents still together. So it had to be either the stepmom of Zayna or the stepmom of Maddie, right? Yeah. But it's a stepmom. But that goes another drug motives around there, right there, right?
Yeah, Maddie's. Yeah.
Yeah. You got that make if Cara is informant as it's starting to show, then Zayna could have been the target. And I don't, like I said, I don't know whose stepmom it is, but it give me my common sense tell me you had to be Maddie's stepmom. I may be wrong, don't hold me to that. But she could be a target. But she's a target anyway for, in my theory, taking the rap of saying she flushed the drug.
Yeah. Yeah, it's understandable.
No drugs was flushed. The money was spent. And it asked me how it was spent on that Range Rover.
Right. And that makes sense to that friend of mine who was starting to say it was the Range Rover that was the cause of everything, of the unalivings. She's onto this right now.
Right.
As we speak.
Right. The only time I ever seen a whole house murder is over drugs and money.
Right. Yep.
You don't see this type of killing just over no lust, no stalking, no none of that. This is about that big business, that mighty dollar, the dead presidents. This is what this is behind. That's why law enforcement can't give these parents no reason why their kids dead, because they're involved inside the murder, they're involved in drugs. Now, let's go back to another one why law enforcement is involved with drugs. Demetrius Robertson, Emma Bailey. Let's go to them. They was arrested for the fentanyl case with the Caden, the young man
Yep.
Caden, right?
Yeah.
It
Yep.
was a police
That's his fault.
officer. It was a police officer testimony that freed Emma Bailey and Demetrius Robinson. You tell me they're not involved in drugs.
Right.
It was
Right.
the testimony of a cop that freed Emma Bailey and Demetrius Robinson. Can't make this up. You can't make this up. Hey, you can't make this up, man. Right?
Right.
You can't.
Right.
Okay. You got four kids running that seen no body cam. Everything is on police body cam. The light flicking on and off at 1122 King Road is on body cam. The flashlight right outside the building where they say, because some speculation say soon as the girls got out of the car, they was attacked. That's why you hear the screams on the lane. Some say Maddie ran this way. That's why her jacket was by the fire hydrant. But she got caught by right there by that building. Right there by that building is no lights there. I had to look before I had to make my, but before I say what we were seeing, I had to look. So we looked at the map. There's no lights around there. No lights. So when you look at that video on that body cam of Banfield, you can see the cop flashing his light, giving the other cops, that's the Banfield signal. You can see him flash his light, then it go away, right? And that's where that's where another speculation they say Maddie got snatched at. So, but we do know her jacket was at the fire hydrant. That was her jacket, right? So you got the four boys running by body cam. Police don't bother them. Don't know what is the boys innocent? They could be. Do they have anything to do with this crime? We don't know. But it's very, very suspicious that you stopped these three boys at Banfield. And the only reason you stopped these three boys is to see what they saw or heard. Because they wasn't drunk. They didn't have no open container. You stopped them for nothing. Ruining their college life.
Right. Yeah, that was a bunch of bullshit, dude.
Because they're involved in these murders. Because LD is involved in these murders. Cops was all around that area all night long. Now, another thing, I don't know how the world let the cops trick them to believing that the car on Linda Lane is BK car. When that car pulled up, the white car, when that car pulled up on Linda Lane at 405, when the car pulled up and it stopped, if you really look at that passenger door window, you're going to see a head move like this. You got to really look. When the car stopped, the head turned in the passenger seat. The car with the tinted windows with the sunroof, that is not BK car. But everybody want to swear you up and down this BK car. So let me show you something. Now check this out. What time did they say BK entered the house?
4:05 was it or something? I can't remember what the exact timing.
They say
between 4 and 4:25.
No. We gonna stick to their facts. They say BK entered their house at 4:04.
Okay.
You recall that? You recall that, buddy?
I
Okay.
recall that now.
The same car that they want us to believe that is BK car, the white car I'm just telling you about, is on camera at 4:05. So if you want us to believe this is BK car, and you want us to believe that BK was in the house at 4:04, well, what is his car doing right here?
Right. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. That car, it's got a sunroof. It's got a sunroof, and BK's car doesn't have a sunroof. And even the one that pulled into Lane, that's a 2000, between a 2011 and 2013. It's not.
We have not. The only footages we've seen of BK when they pulled them twice, and the one when the lady pulled them, and his car have no tint. The only time we ever seen this car on camera. We ain't seen nothing what law enforcement claim they have. They don't have nothing. They are the killers.
They don't have it.
Law enforcement killed these kids. They got their hands. Law enforcement hands is bloody. Everything point to them. You tore down the active crime scene. And before that, before they tore down the crime scene, they were sending a cleanup crew in there, and then they wanted the media to think that the police put a stop to this, when actually Ed Taylor put a stop to them sending that cleaning crew in there.
Okay, I know there was a cleaning crew. Yep.
Yeah, Ed Taylor put a stop to it. When you control the narrative, you can say what you want. So they want us to believe that all these murders occurred in 2 rooms, upstairs, downstairs, 2 girls, and Ethan and Zanny, right?
Yep.
But the way they described the crime scene, the corner, it was a bloody sight. The house is bloody. Everybody saying it was like a horror movie, like a Michael Myers movie, like a Jason movie. Well, if the murders happened inside the room, why is the house bloody? Y'all talking like a house? Don't make sense. Y'all saying this is a horrific crime scene, but y'all telling us the murders happened inside the room. Don't make sense.
No.
Then they want to tell us, they want intelligent people like you, me, and everybody that's watching. We may have different opinions, but all of us are very intelligent. And they want all of us that's watching, you, me, and everybody that's watching, to believe that seat sat on the bed with them 2 girls as they bled out for 12 hours and not a drop of blood on them. That's what they want us to believe, Tommy.
Right.
Tommy, we talking about one girl alleged to be stabbed 54 times. It said Kaylee was stabbed 54 times.
Yep.
It came from a very good story. I don't know about. I dissect this case. I'm connected to the kid. I do want to show truth that the police is the killers, right? And a couple of frat kids, possibly. It was at least 6 people in that house. 8, including, if you're going to include Dylan and Bethany, which is kind of iffy if they were there or not, because we seen the truck go by, right? Right. It was at least 6 people in that house, because you're not finna contain no 4 people. You're not gonna contain them with 4 people. You're not gonna contain them with 1 person. You're gonna have to have at least 6 people to contain 4 people in the house, and you got them in different rooms. Because if you see the 2 people upstairs, it ain't no guarantee because he got that knife, he gonna be able to kill me. I might take that knife from him. So now if it's 2-on-2 battle, if it's 4 people, you got 2 upstairs going at Kaylee them, 2 downstairs down here. So that's a 2-on-2 even better, right? That ain't gonna work, and nobody don't run. So it had to be at least 6 people involved, right?
Yeah.
It's just my theory. Because you're not going to contain 4 people with the same amount of people or lesser people, unless you got a gun.
Right. Well, I ran across this video of a old retired Marine guy, right? And they asked him how many people he said it was probably a dozen or more it would take, with lookouts and all that kind of stuff. An organized thing. He said it would take probably around a dozen people.
And I'm glad you just said that, Tommy, because look, your buddy is smart too. Go check this out. I'm saying there's 6 people inside the house. Your boy says about 12 people. And count. Just imagine if the 4 boys that ran by body cam was involved, was the lookout. That's 10 people. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
You understood what I said?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the chat say, I agree.
Yeah.
Kayla's face will hurt. That is so personal.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
You
yeah,
know,
I'm trying to cover what a lot of the family is saying here, putting it on screen, So, yeah.
Y'all share this video. Y'all share this video. Get the views up. Hit that like button. Oh, this is epic. This is epic. I'm telling you.
It's always epic when the Antoine's on.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
go.
you're the only one I miss. You're the only one I miss going to see in Facebook. I'll have to go. I'll have to go in there. Do you save your videos then? Do you save them?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
can I go
My
back?
video's still in the group.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
just did
So
it
the
live the
name
other
of,
day.
everybody wants to know where you're located at there, and it's a Facebook group called the Idaho Murderers, right?
No, I got my own group, Wide Open Convo, and you can go to my
Okay.
YouTube channel. This Can't Be Life 2021.
Okay. You can. Do you see where it says in your backstage there? Do you see down below where it says private chat off
I
to the
see what
right?
they chat.
Do you see what it says where it says private chat? That's chat between you and I. If you want to leave your link there, you can do that. Or do you have or send me your
I,
link in the email? I
put,
should have got your link ahead of time so I could share your link here. You know what I'm saying? So people know
put it
where to
in
go.
the thing, with the channel. Yeah, it's This Can't Be Life 2021. I was trying to go ahead and my girl trying to put the link in the comment.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, it won't work that way, but she can put
I'll
it there.
leave it
People will have to
when
copy
the
and
live
paste.
over. When the live over, I pin it in your comment.
Okay, all right.
Y'all come over there and vibe with me. I'm giving you the truth. Okay, let's talk about the three different officers that's walked into the crime scene. Smith, Bleeker, and you got Payne. Because
Right.
they want us to believe this thief sat on his bed for 12 hours. And what I mean by 12 hours is 8 hours from the 911 call was made, and it took Payne 4 more hours to get there. He the one found the seat. So that's 12 hours.
Right.
You got three different officers. Smith, he didn't see no seat. Bleeker, he didn't see no seat, but he was later told about a seat. Right?
Right.
And then you got Bleeker, PCA say once they got the warrant for BK apartment, his PCA say they are expected to find a knife or a sheath for that knife in his apartment. Well, we thought you found the sheath at the crime scene.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
The police is involved in these murders. And I want to say this because it's weird to me how Zayna's defensive wounds is. Zayna's defensive wound is, as they described us, was almost severed, almost cut off for her trying to catch the knife. Right?
Right.
For her trying to catch the knife. Ethan has no defensive wound. None at all, and he is a big, healthy boy. Right?
Yeah. Right.
So
very healthy.
So, and we know Ethan ain't scary because allegedly he just got in a fight. He will fight from what they saying. He will fight. So he's not scary. He ain't no coward.
No, not
It was multiple people holding Ethan as he took his last breath. Now, my thing with Zayna is this. My thing about Zayna's death, about her wounds is this. And I'm no medical doctor than that. But her wound was she was trying to catch this knife. And I'm saying, if the same person that killed Ethan took him out like Bruce Lee, like a ninja, took him out with no problem, why are they having all this problem with Zayna to where she could grab this knife? Because you make me think it was a female attacking her. Because when a female attack you, they swing at you. They swing the knife at you. Right? I feel like a female that probably wasn't so sure of herself, because Zayna was a little feisty something. Right? A female that wasn't sure of herself, I feel like was at her, she tried to catch it until she stuck good and she ran up on it and got it. Because if it's a guy, Zayna's small. You just demolish Zayna. He would get Zayna, give the grab her, and she would have no chance to catch no knife. You trying to tell me this same man that killed Ethan had trouble with Zayna and then had trouble with this big healthy young boy?
Right. That doesn't make any sense either. Right.
And that might make me feel like a female somewhere was involved in attacking Zayna. It just give me that vibe because no guy isn't gonna play with her. They didn't play with Ethan. They're not gonna play with her little ass. You feel me?
Right.
They'll pick her up and slam her. She's not gonna be trying to catch no knife. Because if a guy coming at you with a knife, we know we got to get up on you to get you. So we gonna run up on you. You see what I'm saying? We gonna get close to you.
Yeah.
A female that's not sure of herself, she gonna keep swinging until she gets you. And you try to get you keep. Then when you finally hit you right, it's over. Then she gonna run up on you and give it to you. That's just my opinion because I look at things different. That's just my opinion.
Right. No, you're making some really good points, and everybody in my family here is agreeing with that. So yeah.
I hope I'm making kind of sense to y'all. You know, I'm not saying what I'm saying is right. I'm not saying what I'm saying is right. It's just from me being attached to this.
This is your theory and your story, and
yeah,
that's why I brought you on here because I knew it would be different than anybody else's, and we need to hear this because you're bringing up some really different points that people haven't thought of before. So yeah, keep going, brother. You're doing fine. And never mind when I X out this kind of thing. I'm still here.
Okay. And now, and another thing, let's talk about a little evidence, right?
Yep.
They say they found no evidence at the crime scene. They say they found no evidence in the car, no evidence at his apartment. But they claim they got evidence. Where is it coming from? Like now we're starting to see they have nothing. Where's all this evidence they claim they got against this guy is coming from? If BK did it, he needs to get everything that's coming to him. But nothing seems to point towards this guy. Nothing at all. Nothing that I see. No touch DNA, none of that. Because remember, the first lab in Idaho, the lab that the police used, say it was nothing on that scene. It was nothing on that sheet. Nothing at all. It's just like I say, I always ask people, if it's proven that the sheet was planted, does that mean police know the killers? Does that mean that law enforcement knows the killer if it's proven that the sheet was planted, which we already know? I doubt it if that sheet ever entered that house. There's no way it laid on the bed with the girls for 12 hours and not even no touch DNA. Not none of Maddie touch DNA. You know she don't got
no blood. No blood.
Huh?
No blood was on it either.
No blood was on it. And you know she don't got her bump and grind on in that bed. And you trying to tell me ain't no touch DNA from Maddie even on there?
Right.
Man, Maddie done slobbed on them covers. You done sweated in them covers, everything. He trying to tell me ain't no hair, no nothing. I don't know if they want to believe that. They can believe the non-guilty. The ones who believe everybody guilty, they can believe that. I don't believe none of that. I believe law enforcement helped kill these kids. And when I say kill these kids, I mean physically. I feel like LD helped. I feel like they helped them because they tore the house down. The officers around that area all night, and the ones who stopped the kids, they got too much stuff on their body cam. They have too much stuff on their body cam.
Right.
The house is always in their sight on that body cam. You got the truck, you got the minivan going by. If y'all don't know what minivan I'm talking about the cowboy hat. It's too much stuff on police body cam for them not to be involved. It's too many. Just that house for me.
So one of the things you're saying is that at right around 3 o'clock, when you see Dylan's black truck, her dad's black truck actually driving by, you see that same van of those people that were going into the house, right?
Right. The cowboy people, the one cowboy hat.
The Cowboys, right?
The
You
gray
see
van,
that same van going by at 3 o'clock at Banfield.
No. At 2:58, you see the gray van go by. At 3 o'clock, you see DM go by. They're going opposite ways.
Right. At Banfield, though, correct?
Yeah, right there, them cops that talking to them kids. When they talking to them kids, go to 2:58, you're gonna see the gray minivan go by. Then you're gonna see 2 minutes later at 3 o'clock. It's gonna be like 3 o'clock and like 47 seconds. You're gonna see them go by. I'm telling you, Dr. Tom, I'm giving you numbers. The numbers don't lie. I'm giving you numbers because I dissect this case. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna test to these kids. I made a song for the Idaho folk. Right? And okay,
I like that.
Yeah, I made it. Hey, I can play it on here?
Huh?
Can I get you to play on here?
Can you play it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can play it if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just play one verse. I ain't gonna take up too long.
It's on there.
Yeah, it might not come through too good there, but
can y'all hear this?
No.
Don't worry, but I'll drop it in the chat somewhere. But yeah, man.
If you send it to me, I'll play it sometime. If you send it to me, I'll play it sometime. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. They got the gag order on this case. For what reason? Why is the gag order? Why is the gag order on this case? For what reason?
I've never figured that one out.
What is they hiding? What is they hiding?
Yeah. Well, it's getting to the point now where it's starting to make me look other places because it can't be just what they say it is. Why the gag order? There's more behind this gag order. I truly believe now, looking at it, because it's been too long. Dude, it's been a year and a half. You know what I mean? A year and a half. And we still haven't heard the 911 call.
Think about that. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to give you the 911 call. 911 was your emergency. My friend roommate is passed out in the hallway. He's unconscious and he's not waking up. That's the 911 call. No one want to believe me or whatever. Well, don't believe it, right? Now repeat it to you again. My friend roommate is passed out in the hallway. He's unconscious and he's not waking up. They were talking about Ethan. Now, let's talk about Ethan for a minute. They say somebody pulled the window and checked the pulse or whatever, right? Say unconscious call for an unconscious person that's not waking up. I just gave you the 911 call, right? They say Ethan was found in the room. But the 911 caller, and when y'all hear, y'all gonna say, that guy Antoine, he is the truth. Ethan was in the hallway. Who moved Ethan's body if he was found in the room, like the PCA say? Like they say. That's why they don't want to release that 911 call, because it's going to contradict them saying Ethan was found in that room. That's the only reason you can say, why are they holding the 911 call? Because it contradicts what they say Ethan was found at. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The 911 call say Ethan was in the hallway. Law enforcement say Ethan was found in the room. Who moved his body?
See, I heard it both. I've heard it both ways, and I think the family here has heard it both ways too. Well, which way is it? I've heard that
Ethan
he
was
was
in
in the
that
hallway,
hallway.
and I've heard he's in the house. You know, in the
Listen,
room. I mean,
listen. So they
you know,
want you to believe. So they want you to believe Ethan was in that room, sitting up against the door. They had to bust the door down. If
yeah,
they
they
want
would
you
have
to
to bust
believe
the
that,
door down.
yeah, hold on. Not mind you on the, when they do call 911, they don't say nothing about Zayna. So you don't see Zayna right there. So when you bust the door open, you don't see Zayna in there dead.
Right.
Why are they hiding that 911 call? Because it contradicts them saying Ethan was found in the room. That's just my truth. That's just my theory.
Right. Right.
That's why I feel like they're holding the 911 call. Because the 911 caller say hallway, law
That's a
enforcement
good
say he was
theory.
found in the room.
That's a very good theory. Yeah. Yep.
Everything in this case is a secret. Why are they hiding everything in this case? Everything is a secret. Everything. You know, people get murdered every day. People go to trial every day. You get to see what evidence going on. You don't see everything, but
Yep.
you get to see stuff to give a family hope. To give the family hope. Yeah, we found the murder weapon. Oh yeah, they got the murder weapon.
Right.
Oh, his fingerprints
Yeah.
was on it. Oh, they got the. You
That's
see what I'm saying? You get a family hope.
right.
They haven't gave these people nothing. 18 months has gone by, and not one of them family members could tell you why their child is dead.
Right.
And they haven't given nobody a motive, a reason. Why did law enforcement do your job? Why did these young kids lose their life? Why? Give us a reason. Let me be able to let my soul be able to rest a little bit. Just knowing my child dead and I don't know why. In the style that they was killed. What is you hiding, police? Because y'all the killers. Law enforcement is the killers. Allegedly, you heard it from me. Law enforcement and a couple frat kids. I said with these 6 people in that house, not included DM and Bethany. Not
Yeah,
including them.
they would have to have help with probably with a couple frat kids. I bet. Yeah.
They had help. They had help because
Yeah.
I can't remember why why I seen that one of the girls said they looked out the window and seen a shiny badge, seen something shiny, because they don't give you no forced entry. They can't even tell you how BK got in the house. They can't even tell you how he got in the house. I feel
Yeah.
like they got in the house.
Just say through the sliding door. They say, but you know,
That's what they say.
Right.
That's their theory. I feel like they was let in the house because the police had a couple frat kids with them, and the kids probably thought it was a shakedown because that is not a party house, it's a drug house. That's what I believe. I believe they got in with no forced entry because it was a badge with some of them kids that they knew. Like who?
Right.
Like Hunter Johnson, who always at the house, the big mouth bash, 911 call. You know what I mean? Like him. Like who else? Like Queen Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Like Doc said. Doc said it was 5 people on that porch, on that back porch that morning, and I believe her. And the 5 people she said, I said I could put a name to all of them. The tall skinned pale guy, she said, she don't really know. That's Hunter Johnson. The black guy, that's Demetri Robinson. The other girl that wasn't DM, that's Emma Bailey. The boy with the hat, with the hoodie on, that's Queen Kelly. And it's DM. That's the 5 she seen on the back porch that night, smoking a blunt. I believe that woman. She couldn't really put them too many names on them. But when you go to, oh yeah, Hunter Johnson always at this house. He was there doing the murders. He was there. They didn't have to call him over. They called him just to keep a phone record, a phone track, a record. But he was already there. He was already there. He's always at this house. And he always want to be the one to what? Talk to the police. So that morning wasn't no different from when the police took a picture of Kayla ID. What did he do? He come outside. When the police come and knock on the door that day, and
we've noticed that too.
He's always talking to the police. He's always there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that day it happened. Guess what? Here you go, big mouth bass. You like to talk all the time. Talk to the 911 operator. since you always like to talk, that's Hunter, Big Mouth Bass Johnson.
Right.
You know what I mean? This
Yeah.
case got me so drawn in. You know, I do it for these kids. You know what I mean? I want, you know, it's just crazy because law enforcement is coming up for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right. All right. So your theory is then is that the police are involved because of Ruggs, and they're in conjunction with, in cahoots with a couple frat boys like Hunter and maybe Loach
No,
or
not
whoever.
that. I'm saying it was if frat boys and law enforcement did these murders, if not the big drug dealers, right? But it's all law enforcement is all involved. Whoever law enforcement did it with, law enforcement is involved heavily. Law enforcement is involved, right? Because
Right. So that means
whoever
that they would be involved in the rug trafficking then.
the drug trafficking, yeah,
Yeah, rugs.
yeah.
Yeah.
You saying the drug trafficking?
Rug. We call it rugs on here.
Okay, rugs. Okay, the rugs trafficking. Okay, yeah. Because
Right.
remember, you got to remember. Take you back to it was a cop that freed Emma Bailey and Demetrius Robinson. It was a cop testimony that freed 2 drug dealers. You got to remember that. That's huge.
You're right. Yep. Yeah,
That's
you're
huge.
right.
Yeah. You know, I sure appreciate you bringing me on here. Let me, you know, say how I feel about this case because I'm very, very, very attached to this case. My whole group, my whole wide open combo group. You know, we do different things, different stories, but you know, we're attached to this. You know what I mean? You got any questions you want to ask me, man? Because I can answer all questions about the case.
Yeah. Anybody got questions out there? Anybody got some questions? Mods, take some questions, please. If you have questions, please put them in capital letters so we can see it.
Everybody got some questions, but I answer all questions.
Yeah, if anybody's got questions, please put them in capital letters so we can see them.
We're gonna do it. Run the views up, y'all. Share this video, baby. Cause it ain't nothing like me. It ain't nothing like me on social media.
All right. Anybody got any questions? It takes a while before they get, and then it might take them a while. Okay. Does he know what the testimony was the cop gave to E and gave to get E and D off, to get Emma and Demetrius off? What was it the cop?
It was that it was I looked at it in a while, but if my mind ain't get telling me wrong, it was that they could have bought some more narcotics. That Caden could have bought narcotics from someone else, like after them. So they could prove it that they narcotics is the narcotic that killed him.
Okay, gotcha.
Did they get it?
Here's one. It's Antoine from Ohio.
What's good? I'm from Tampa, Florida. No, I'm from Tampa, Florida.
Okay. Do you know about the hidden cameras around the house?
I heard about the hidden camera, and you done seen like pictures of some people. It look like in the trees and stuff like that, but I never really seen a real hidden camera at their house. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen them.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. How does Antoine think this will all end in court?
Dismissed. The case will be dismissed. This will not go to trial.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Ask him what undercover was doing in apartment lot at 25340. What undercover was doing? What's doing? I don't understand that. Ask. Yeah, let me put it up there. Ask him what undercover was what they were doing in apartment lot at 253.
We're talking about in Banfield?
The apartment lot is what they're saying. Yeah, it must be the.
Are you talking about that parking lot where the car was parked at? That parking lot right there?
I think that's what they're. I think that's what they're talking about. Yeah.
Allegedly supposed to be some. That was Maddie supposed to be caught at. Maddie's supposed to be up there by them cars. She supposed to not got by past the third car before she was caught. Is that what she talking about at the parking lot right there where the bush is at, where the fire hydrant, and then you got the parking lot? Is that what she talking about?
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, that's where it's supposed to be, and where Maddie's supposed to made it. They pulled her, grabbed her by the jacket. She pulled her, slipped out the jacket. They pulled her, grabbed her right there by the third car.
Right. Okay. Was Kaylee pregnant? You know.
I'm gonna say this. I heard Kaylee had an abortion. I don't know if she was pregnant again, but I heard she had an abortion before, and it probably been from some sugar dad or something. Don't hold me to that, because Kayla, I don't want to put no bad on your name like that. I'm just speculating what I heard.
Yeah, we understand that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What was happening during the 8 hours?
During them whole 8 hours was, my opinion, was planning. It was planning, because you got to think about it. It was planning because at 8:30, one of the neighbors said that door was open between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. All right.
Right.
Let's just go by the police timeline and say 4 something these murders happen. You're gonna have to air that out. So just by them having that door open, it lets you know it's been some planning going on. Whatever, getting rid of this or even moving, it ain't no telling what was going on. The cops was inside that house with them. That's why I believe that theory came up about the second floor, because it would have been more easier, in my opinion, it would have been more easy for you to pin it on the cop if you didn't have a description of somebody, because nothing made sense. The cops beat the paramedics there before the dispatch even went out. How do they know this?
All right, and that's one of your things in your theory is that it started that they were on the bottom floor, but they changed it to the second floor, so they would have an eyewitness. Right?
Right, yeah. That's what they did. That's not my theory. That's exactly what happened. They told us them girls were in the bottom floor asleep, and they slept through the horrific crime. That's what they told us. That's not my theory. That's one of their facts. But
yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, I agree with that. Yep.
But once the world went to saying no, impossible, they had to take them from that first floor and put her on the second floor.
Put her on the second floor.
A description. You got to be able to give a description. You think this man done killed 4 people, and he finna leave her alive? He would have cut them head off. He would have cut them head off. How about a DM seeing him leaving, and he walked right past her in that narrow hallway? Man, that man just killed 4 people. You think he gonna leave her alive?
Right. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
She would have been frozen in shock, and her head would have been chopped straight off. What? That man would have left her alive?
All right. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I'm sorry for the graphics and stuff, but I'm just saying.
Here's one from Huda. She's another creator. I don't know if you know her or not. Huda? Do you know Huda? Huda London? She has a good channel. Do you think Jack D and Jack Showalter are involved?
The Spanish lady or something. Oh, y'all watch her channel. What's up, beautiful?
Yeah, Huda's cool.
Yeah, I watch
she is beautiful too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. oh yes, most definitely. Jack D and Jack Showalter involved. Jack Showalter told the world.
I agree, brother. I agree, brother.
He told the world they're going to get you for that, Maddie. And a couple hours later, Maddie was dead.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
What is so hard about that for people to get a grip on? He told
I
them
don't
what was
know.
going to happen. He told them what
Right.
was going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And from what Steve Goncalves said in the interview about they had Jet D DNA, they put him at the crime scene, and them phone calls, I feel like, was made by someone else, not them girls, and it automatically gave Jack D an alibi. Soon as they went to dial his number, it gave him an alibi
Right.
because people gonna say he wasn't there because they kept
Yeah,
calling him.
I never
calling him.
thought of it that way. I never thought of it that way. Good point. Very
I'm
good
telling
point.
you, soon as they dialed his number, he gave himself an alibi. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Yep.
yes, Miss Hunter, I can't pronounce your name. Lundy. Yes, I think Jack Jack is involved somehow.
Right.
But
Right.
people that actually did the unliving, I feel like a couple of them is law enforcement.
Okay. Law enforcement. All right. You're hearing it right here, folks, from Antoine on Once Upon a Crime Time.
Yeah.
And here is another one from Christopher Dorner here. What does he believe the undercover cops' involvement were at Banfield?
What I believe, they was making sure the 3 kids didn't see nothing, because you got to understand the way the 3 kids came from. The 3 kids came from that way. You know what I mean? They don't know if it's true that
I think there was 4 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, the 3 kids was walking from that way. That
I see. All right.
They was coming from that way, and they was going across the field. So when the guy, pull up on them, hey, probably want to just make sure, hey, what y'all seen? The kids wasn't drunk. The kids didn't have no open container. Why are they bothering these kids? Why?
Right.
To see if they heard something, seen something. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I could do, unless they was buying time for that truck to go, for that gray minivan to go by, and for DM to go by. Was that a signal? You don't know, because they stayed right there bothering kids for a minute. And then once DM truck went by and that gray van went by, that's when they walked towards the car.
Right.
That's when they went to the car. You got to watch both of their body cam, because on one body cam, you're going to see the lights on side of the building where the stairs is at. It's the stairs right there. If you go that parking lot we talking about, if you go that building there, it's some stairs right there that lead to 1122 King Road. Right on the side of that building right there.
Yeah.
You can see the signal, the flashlight signals. When the police turn around and start walking towards the car, you can see the signals of the flashlight. Then they go away. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just my opinion.
Right. Okay, this is from Deborah Ackland here. His view about Saeed, law enforcement in Banfield. Okay, we just went over that, so that answered that. Deborah, one of my mods here, one of my beautiful mods, Demetrius and Emma leaders. What the hell? This horrific ordeal. Oh, she's just saying, okay, that she's just going off. Here's from Huda. Do you think this was a crime of passion?
No. Drugs. No. No.
Right.
No. It's no. Listen. There's no man gonna go in there and kill them the 4 people, these 2 alive, to my crime of passion. No. This has something to do with that bag, baby. Yeah, ching, can you say ching ching? That's what it got something to do with. Right. You know what I mean?
Okay, I think you already answered this one. Do you think this is related to Kara and Maddie's stepmoms, please?
A very, 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 very strong possibility, because it's still related to drugs. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because it's no coincidence that Carl take a deal September 13th to 22, and the next day the drug man get knocked off. He get a trafficking charge. That's not a coincidence. That's the way it works in the street where I come from. That's how it works. That's exactly how it works.
Right.
So
here's one from Space Junkie that's really good. Was the murder filmed, and was there a camera set up behind the house? Because we did hear about that group
I
that put
heard about,
that video up.
yeah, I heard about they were live streaming it. I really haven't found none that support that. Then they said they had the camera side the bushes by the house, like filming stuff. I heard about that one, and it's kind of sound like it could be true, but we haven't seen none that support it. You know what I mean? Especially when they claim that
Right.
that cult DM them, the one that's behind the house could have been in the bushes or whatever. We haven't seen anything to support it. I haven't, so I don't think it was.
Why pick a party Saturday night to do this?
It was no party. It was no party at 1122 Key Road.
Which is really strange. Which is really strange for that house.
It
right?
wasn't no party, baby. That's
Right.
what made the DM statement even more crazy, because she said
Right.
she thought BK was a party goer. Well, he ain't a party by himself. It wasn't no party.
All right. Which is strange for that house. They partied out every fucking weekend. Why
It
not
wasn't
that
no
weekend?
party. It wasn't no party.
DM invites Kaylee, come on, you know, be my plus one. Come on.
Exactly.
There's nothing going on at the house. And there's nothing going on at the house.
Exactly. It was no party.
Right. Okay, how did they not plan for some kind of contingency that some footage would eventually leak like Linda Lane? Well, that's, you know, I can answer that one, I think.
Yeah, go on answer that one, Tommy.
Yeah, you know, they don't know. And I don't think they realize that Linda Lane would be leaked. And I found out recently who leaked Linda Lane.
Yeah,
And it
the
isn't
clout
who you
chasers.
and it
The
isn't
clout
who you
chasers.
think it is.
The
It
clout
isn't who
chasers.
you think it is.
It's the clout
No,
chaser,
it's
Steve
somebody-
on camera.
It's somebody that has footage all the way till noon. That's who released that footage.
Who
And
you
there's
think
only
it is,
one
Steve?
person. There's
Steve
only
on
one
camera?
person. There's only one person that had that footage till noon.
Is it Steve?
Law enforcement.
Is it Steve?
Okay,
You think law enforcement?
here's one for you.
How did they
Here's
not
one
think
for you.
that?
What is your theory on Brent?
You talking about Brent Kopacker? I'm gonna tell you this about Brent Kopacker. I can say this. Everything that I read up by Brent about Brent Kopacker, it was no gun recovered from the scene. I never heard of no gun being recovered from the scene. If I'm wrong or wrong, maybe I haven't seen that, but I haven't heard of no gun being recovered from the scene. But he want to kill his roommate, and he knew something. He knew
That's
something.
what I think too. Right. That's what I think.
Because
too.
you got to think of this. This man put his life on the line for our country.
Yeah.
And if he's having an episode, a mental episode, they're supposed to know how to handle that. And go in there and get him help. They killed him. From my understanding, they killed him for talking. What was the powerful words that was coming out of his mouth? What was coming out of his mouth? We need to know.
Right. Yeah.
Because I still haven't seen no report when they recovered a gun. Say he was having a standoff with the police.
I say he probably knew that LV was involved, which I've been trying to say all along, you know, but it's hard to say that on YouTube because you get spanked.
Yeah. What you think?
And you get spanked by people because attack you on it and shit, you know.
Right.
And so I try to like say it in a nonchalant way, but I think people need to start looking at this like what they're doing in the court case. They're lying their asses off.
Say it again. Say it one more time.
They're lying their asses off.
Boy, yeah.
This is my Antoine right here. I miss you, brother.
Yeah, man. You know, slide on through. I still be causing ruckus over there, man. They love to hate me over there. But I don't turn a couple of them around now because they be watching my live videos. I make a lot of sense, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's like everything you seeing going on in the Cameron Reed trial. That's what's gonna go on if this case make it to trial, which I really doubt it. I doubt it.
I doubt it too. I doubt it too. Yeah.
I doubt it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
they'll
tell
come up
you who
with
know.
something.
I gotta bring a little comic to it. I'm gonna tell you who know the truth though. Who know everything that happened. Well, what they got to hey, but to answer their question, yeah, I believe Brett Kopacker knew something. I believe he knew something very, very important, right?
Yeah.
Him and Payne might have been little army partners or something. You might have
And
something.
you know what? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe Brian.
We never know.
Maybe Brian knows something.
He may know something. See, and the weird thing with Brian, he
And
just
that's
had
why they pin this shit
huh? Repeat that.
on, you know?
Repeat
What's
that. What you said again?
I said maybe Brian knows something. And maybe that's why they pin this on him.
There's a possibility he knows something, but he didn't take no life.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think he took
He
not one life. No.
He didn't take no life. He didn't take no life.
He wouldn't even kill a rabbit, dude. He would kill. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They I don't know what they have against Brian Kohlberger. I don't know what law enforcement down there have against him, but whatever it is he trying to do in law enforcement, he need to just leave it alone because these people do not like him.
Right. Yeah, they're fabricating shit to frame him, I do believe. Okay, Mama Five's got one here. Thoughts on the DD driver and private driver?
The DoorDash driver, I feel like he's seen nothing because everybody was already dead by the time DoorDash got there. When whoever ordered the DoorDash off the burner phone with the gift card, they was already dead. Remind you, the DoorDash was ordered at 2:45. Them kids, 2:45 was ordered. It was delivered at 4.
My reflection series and stuff, and my theory was that that Ethan was taken out between 2:20 and 2:30, and the rest were gone by, they were gone before 4 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? They were gone. You know what I mean? They were gone. They were well gone by that time.
I set my timeline between 2 and 3:30 for the simple fact what they told us the first time. This white car that's seen on store surveillance is the car at 3:46. But then they found that gap in Brian Kohlberger cell phone data. And they tried. So what they said is, we gonna make you tell us where you were, because we're gonna put you at 1122 King Road, because you can't count for this time right here. You can't count for this time. So yeah, you understand what I mean?
But along comes Cy Ray.
Ooh, who doing that?
They shit in their pants, brother. They shit in their pants.
Cy Ray. He a bad man.
Here's from Nicky Watson. Does he think the hit and run was connected? The hit and run, over by
somebody in Oregon with the white car
there.
Somebody one in Oregon with the white car, or somebody one by Brian Kohlberger house. Which one? One
by Kohlberger's house.
Okay, that's a very interesting thing right there, right? Because two of them kids had the same name as Hunter and Ethan. You notice that?
Yeah, that's strange. That was strange.
Yeah, that was weird. Okay, if you look at that accident that hit the two people, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I couldn't really say if that was involved because I don't see no trail leading back to that incident, to that accident right there. Like, okay,
Right. Yeah.
how can you
I don't
connect this
know.
accident to 4 people getting slaughtered in a house? How can you
Yeah.
connect it? Like, I don't see no connection there. I just don't see it. So I'm gonna say no.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's what I think too. Uh, okay. You're welcome, crime solver. Um, okay. We got. Okay. Here's a good one from Moonflower Laza, and she's another beautiful mod of mine. Does Antoine think that the boys that went out of country are some of the killers?
Oh, you got JS supposed to went to Africa. You got Dirty Loach. He supposed to disappear, deleted his Facebook. I definitely believe some frat kids is involved. I definitely believe that. Your actions speaks volumes.
Yep, it does.
JS, if he don't have blood actually on his hand from doing some unaliving, he definitely is involved from the statement he made they're going to get you, Maddie. A couple hours later, Maddie ended up no longer with us. So he's definitely involved in that way with JS. With Loach, from what I hear about him, think he's the tough guy, the steroid junkie or whatever. It's a possibility. It's a very strong possibility that Loach was involved. So I'm gonna say yeah that about Loach, because Loach and JS the only ones I know that left or something like that. Yeah. But I definitely
agree
say
with
yeah.
I agree with you there. You know, if you want to see a good channel, go look at True Killer Crimes and check out what she's found out with the Linda Lane reflection stuff. She's a fairly new channel. Go check out True Killer Crime. True Killer Crime.
True Killer Crime.
Yeah, you'll be going, holy shit. Right. So
nothing else surprised me about this case.
Right. Okay. Carlos says, I've subscribed to you. I don't know. Do you got a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
I just put it in the comments.
Yeah, it's in the comments. This can't be life 2021.
I'll put it in there again.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Go.
She goes, I subscribed to Antoine. Do you have a theory on how
that's it right there?
How BK,
yeah, that's it right there. This can't be life 2021. Yeah. I'm trying to get my page back going, but I'm going to be more active on it because I'm dedicated to it, right? I do different stuff, though, just not the Idaho folk.
Yeah, he's been on Facebook, a Facebook group, and he's got his own group. I think they left the you'll have to copy and paste it, though, because they didn't give it to me. Or mods, if you can find that link that would your wife put it up in there?
Yeah, you put the link in there? Yeah, she put the link in there. This can't be life 2021.
I just put it in there again.
I would show
mods,
appreciate it.
My mods will have to put it in there, otherwise it won't be a link. You know what I'm saying? So one of my mods, if you can find that link that she put there, or put it in there again so they can grab that link and redo it, then it'll turn into a link. Here's from Carla. I've subscribed to Antoine. Do you have any theory on how BK is connected? Why did they pick BK to frame?
I feel like, for one, they had to make a arrest because 40% of the students wasn't coming back to school until they had someone arrested. So they had to make an arrest. Okay, they've been on to BK since the 29th of November. The cop actually, the security guard actually the one is who really told him about BK car and all that. I said, I don't know what BK done to the officers, because you got to understand he was trying to become one of them.
Right.
He was trying to become a cop.
Yeah.
He went to Pullman and filled out application to be a cop. But they would never tell you if they hire him or not. They don't tell you that.
I'm wondering if he didn't find something dirty on them.
That's what I'm wondering. Because he was trying to teach them, I think, how to collect digital data, more stuff like that. And you can find the connection between law enforcement and BK, but you can't find no connection between Brian and these victims.
Yeah, none. Zero.
And that's odd.
Zilch.
No connection here. No connection here with these victims, with these young kids. But you got a connection here with law enforcement, who I think is your killer.
Well, here's a question for you. Do you think the FBI is actually investigating the police department?
FBI don't want nothing to do with this case. From what you're seeing, they leaving Bill Thompson, old Slim Shady Bill Thompson. They leaving you in the water, boy. They leave him in the water. They leaving him hanging. So you can see, and when Cyree come on the field, the FBI really put everything on pause. Pause. Because he works for them. He usually testifies for them.
Right.
So the FBI may be investigating them is the reason why it's the FBI leaving them hanging. You know?
Yeah.
So
good one.
That's a possibility that they could be getting investigated by the FBI. They should, because they're crooked. They're into drugs. You got Hudson Lindo dead, accidental death. You got Haney Query dead, accidental death. You got the old lady that got stabbed down there, unsolved murder. You got Dr. I'm looking at this Dr. Drake. He's been framed. The Dr. Drake case, framed. It's a frame, and it's evidence that we'll free this man. It's a frame. They have seven wrongful convictions down there. One of them got overturned, and they got 7 unsolved murders.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
They never solved nothing. People sending their kids out to college, and then their kids dying, and you don't even know why. It's accidental.
Right. Yeah. Which is a bunch of bullshit. Too.
So they need to be investigated by the FBI.
Right. They need to be. Right.
Yeah,
M. Stokes asks, did it all happen inside the house? No, I got a theory on that. I'll let you speak.
Go ahead, Tommy.
Well, I believe 2 were taken out at Linda Lane and 2 were taken out at the house. That's my theory. I'd like to hear yours.
Okay. This is kind of hard because if the footage that we hear on Linda Lane of the screams of Maddie's voice calling Katie or whatever, if that's real, then you have to put in your mind that it's a possibility that it's 2 crime scenes. And we haven't seen one picture of the first crime scene for us to even say that it was as bloody as they want us to believe it was.
Exactly.
So it's possible that it is 2 crime scenes. You understand what I mean? So it's a possibility.
Yep, exactly.
Because I think them screams are real.
Me too.
And them screams wouldn't picked up from 1122 King Road. Them screams was up in that area.
Right there. Right in front of 500.
So if I have to lean to, it's a very good possibility that it's 2 crime scenes. It's a very good I just don't believe.
It's a good possibility there's 2 crime scenes, and it's a good possibility that there's 1 and it's all Linda.
Right. It's a good possibility, but then,
Yep.
But one thing that I want people to understand and know, if it come out that the seed was planted, DM statement is no good. DM statement is no longer no good, and law enforcement knows the killers if they're not the killer themselves.
Right. Exactly.
So the seed was planted that show you that they never went and looked for no suspect.
Yeah.
And it seems that Cyree The man of the man seen that Ray done stepped on the field and then he done opened up a can of worms. He done
Right.
opened up a can of worms because he said exculpatory. I heard that out of his mouth. So that's telling me the seed was planted and law enforcement know the killers. If they not the killers, they self like I think they is.
Right. Good one. Okay, Ashley K says, do you think Brent Kopaka possibly witnessed the murders? Now, I don't know if you know 1111 True Crime. She has a really good channel also. And this Caroline called in, right? And she knew Brent Kopaka in the service at Fort Bragg. Okay. She slept 30 feet away from him.
Mm.
He said that he would never hurt anybody like that.
Do you believe her? Do you believe her?
Yes, she's very believable. Look up the 1111 True Crime and look up.
You talking about the 1111 True Crime? I know who you talking about.
Yeah, Mama D.
Yeah, Mama D. Yeah. I be checking out. I check out a lot of people. You know what I mean? I check out a lot of people.
Right.
I'm just ready to listen about
it. She was very believable, and what she was saying was that Kopaka was at Linda Lane that night arguing with his girlfriend. Now, maybe he could have witnessed something, and you can. The reason she knows this because she recognized his voice on the Linda Lane footage and the girlfriend's voice, and they were arguing. He might have actually seen something going down at Linda Lane, and that's why they took him up.
But guess what? Now they give you a motive to why is he dead. It kind of makes sense. Didn't see him there. It give you a motive. You got to have a motive. This, I never heard of this, but it sounds like, it makes sense.
Exactly, brother. Yeah. Go listen to that at 1111 True Crime. Go listen to that. It was like a week ago or something. We did answer that question. Who leaked the footage?
Because law enforcement have to give you a motive.
Yeah, what I found out was
who leaked the footage.
I don't want to say the name.
Ross said.
But I know. We said that one. Does Antoine know if a video was made about the murderers?
Who leaked the footage? What footage? The Linda Lane footage? I think SG leaked the Linda Lane footage. Steve Goncalves. I think he said that out of his mouth.
I think what Crime Spy is saying is
Antoine knows if the video was made about murder.
Like a snuff film or something.
What you mean, something like a
snuff film?
I don't know about no videos. They saying somebody would have been live streamed. I don't really know about no videos and stuff like that.
Right.
What I do know is law enforcement involved in these kids' murder.
Waybird here. What about stingrays? Could LE or other agencies done a blackout that affected the girls' 911 calls?
I heard about the stingray.
Yeah, but your theory doesn't really support them calling 911. So
no. Yeah. But it was said that 911 was called that night, and the officer that was on Banfield actually ignored the 911 call that was called. Some girl supposedly heard Maddie screaming, running down the stairs, and 911 supposedly was called then. But you remember the cops of Banfield. Now stay with me. You remember the cops of Banfield got out and said they had a disturbing call?
Yep.
That's supposed to be the call of the girl hearing Maddie screaming. She's supposed to call,
right?
And that's supposed to have been the disturbing call that they had. But instead, they gonna mess with the 3 kids.
Exactly. Right. Okay, here's one. Do you think that this is from Joe? Do you think Ethan's brother was involved, a part of the crime? That'd be Hunter Chapin.
I'm gonna just say no. I'm not gonna really get into I don't really want to get into the Chapin family because the mom, I don't like no half-talking person. I don't like no person that ain't fighting for justice for their child. She keeps saying 2 o'clock is a dark hour for her. Okay, we know you got we know you got a different autopsy. Yep. We know you do so we know you know something different, right? But if you're not gonna get out here and find justice for your kid, stop saying 2 o'clock is a dark hour. If you're not gonna tell people why it is. Why? Because it messed up early timeline? Because it messed up early timeline.
Right.
Stop saying to her, I understand she's grieving and I actually like respect them because they're really being hushed up about it and they're grieving how they want to do. They got the flowers for Ethan and all that. So they really stand out of it. But when you get in front of the camera, please don't say 2 o'clock is the dark hour if you're not going to expose their timeline. Because that's basically what she's doing.
Right. I gotta say here too, everybody. Tomorrow night, Rory is going live again. I will be on panel, and Golf will be on panel. Make sure you check out "Thou Shalt Not Kill True Crime" tomorrow night. So he'll be live at 4:30 his time. That makes it 6:30 Central Standard Time tomorrow night. Make sure you are there.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there and check you out.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. Maybe he'll get you up on panels. Okay, Rach says, how does Antoine think they got to BK? Why did Steve G say they didn't have to go upstairs?
Okay. Steve Goncalves is a half talker. Steve Goncalves he misleads you when you talk. Steve Goncalves always leave himself way for something else to come down the line off one of his interviews. He said they didn't have to go upstairs, right? I'm like you and everybody else in the chat. What did you mean by that, Steve? Right. What did you mean by he didn't have to go upstairs? Did you mean that Zayna was the target? Is that what you're saying by us knowing that Carl?
You know what I think? Here's what I think. I think he's trying to take away that maybe Kaylee was the target. That's what I think. That not so much that Zana was the target, but that Kaylee wasn't the target.
I'm not saying Zana was the target. This is what I'm saying with him. Are you trying to say Zana was the target because
that's what
Carl supposedly informing allegations? Is that what you're saying? Or like you just said, is you trying to take the target off your daughter for buying that Range Rover?
Right.
That Range Rover is a big deal in this case.
It is a big thing. I agree. And I didn't want to come out with it right now because we're working on it. I'm working on it with another creator. And they've got so much information on this, dude. It'll blow your fucking mind. Yes, the Range Rover is what inspired all of this to happen. Believe it or not.
Because it's the money.
Mike, my family, I'm telling you right now, this was going to be coming out anyway. That it is the Range Rover that caused all of this.
It's that Range Rover. Yep. And because for all the people who think BK is guilty, just use your common sense to think about this, like for the theory. Where was these girls getting all this money from to take all of the trips? And not to mind you, Katie was just about to backpack across Europe. Where the money coming from?
Yep.
Got to think about it.
Yeah.
People got to look at it. And I don't want to know why my child did. I won't be sitting back behind no gag order. How about a gag order on the case? The gag order is not on you, Steve. The gag order is not on you, Steve. And you want to get on here and you always want to clout chase. You want to have talk and you ain't fighting for the right justice for your child. I used to be behind Steve 100%. 100%. Then out of left field, nowhere, he holler about a kill kit and all. Like, whoa, man, where's you going?
Right.
You was just down this path, bro. And now you talk about this, and now Chrissy holler about it. Oh my God. But Chrissy, in your interview, I still have it on my YouTube page. You said that people would clear too quickly. But then you switch like this. What is it y'all hiding? What is it that you have to hide, SG? You know, I don't talk to SG on my Facebook message before. You showed it on one of your lives before. When I was messaging Steve Goncalves, somebody sent it to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. This is Antoine. I know him.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey. Do you guys remember that when I posted that texting back and forth with SG with Steve and Antoine? This is the Antoine right here.
Right. Listen, Steve said something in that message that speaks volumes, but it's like he's not man enough to say it for the justice of his two daughters. Because Maddie was like a daughter to them. Maddie was like a daughter to them. So, in that message between Steve and I, Steve said something at the end of that message that just was a boom. He said, I have let, but I know he was lying. I know he was lying though, because I done seen just about all of Steve interviews, and I never once heard him say what he texted me. He said, they have let every news outlet know that them kids is not safe. Okay, you take that and now you dissect it, you break it down. What you mean they ain't safe? So you know there's more killers out there, and you know Ellie is involved. You saying you told every news outlet that these kids is not safe. So what you saying? You know the killers are still out there? I ain't gonna even use Ellie. You're saying you know the killers is still out there.
Right.
See,
Okay.
I see things different.
They can't find your Facebook page, so you can find them. The Idaho group Facebook.
It's called Wide Open Convo. WIDE Open OPEN Convo. CONVO. Wide Open Convo. Oh, it's in the chat. It's in the chat somewhere.
Yeah, keep posting it in the chat, mods, if you got it. Because I want you to to get your group bigger. I want your group to grow. So
yeah, I'm trying to move my group to YouTube.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm trying to move my group to YouTube.
Wide Open Convo.
Yeah, Wide Open Convo.
Right there. It's on the screen right now, folks. Wide Open Convo, and that's on Facebook. And he does lives.
Right.
And it gets pretty intense. It does get pretty intense.
Hey, and listen, even if you don't agree with me, join my group. We just don't like nobody disrespecting people for having their opinion. You know what I'm saying? Right. Don't disrespect nobody just because they disagree with you. Let's dialogue about it. Let's have a hefty debate about it. You know what I'm saying? Because we like family over there. You can have your opinion. You can think PK guilty. You can think what you want. You can make posts about it in my group. You know what I'm saying? Just respect people when they come at you.
Yeah.
Disrespect. Right. They're not, you know what I mean? I try to run like no disrespect. I block people. You disrespect somebody, I'm blocking. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But Steve Goncalves saying that, he's saying so many words, the killers are still out there. But he lied though. He lied to me. Because Steve, you have not told every news outlet that them kids is not safe. I haven't heard you say that on one interview. Because if he said that, he would be calling out law enforcement. And he don't want to do that.
Yeah.
He don't want to do that. Now, I understand him. He got to live there. the cops down there are crooked. They're into drugs.
But
They're
you have to.
it's drugs, man. It's sex trafficking and all that's going on down there. Them cops are. You gotta check it out, Tommy. They don't make no money, right? The biggest money maker down there is the university in drugs.
Right.
Drugs. My bad, in drugs.
Right.
The university in drugs. Excuse my language.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes.
They don't make no income. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I when I first started this channel, I called Rory and I told him what my profile would be of because I thought it was a rug hub, and it is.
Was.
It's a hub. Did you know this, dude? That it's 25 miles to the major port in Lewiston, a major international. Yeah, it goes inland. They actually dig the river out, so these great big international barges go in 25 miles from Moscow. That's huge, dude. That's huge.
That is. You got to understand, like it.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. I don't recommend no one to send their kids to that school. Idaho. Don't. It's too corrupt down there. Too many kids going. We losing too many kids that are going to that school and losing. And no one is responsible for their death. That's the big upset. We all gonna die. We all gonna die. We all got to die. We don't know how we gonna go. But
I know. No shit.
The way they telling us these kids is losing their life doesn't make no sense. And they doing nothing about it down there. It's just sad. And that's why I feel LG is so scared. Because the law enforcement.
Yeah, I think he is.
If they could do this to an innocent man that wanted to be on their team, they'll do it to you.
And if they can do that to 4 kids, they can do it to you.
They can do it to you.
You know what I mean? Yep.
It's just beyond unbelievable.
If they took one daughter, they can take the other.
Exactly. And then the cops want to say it was a target to hit, but they don't want to tell you who the target. Because if they tell you the target, you got all the YouTube sleuths, you're going to go piecing it together. Target for what? You're going to go piecing it together. And then you're going to have your motive.
Always have to have
they want to tell. They don't want to get, they never going to give you no motive because drugs and money is your motive.
Yep.
That is your motive. Yep. That's why they stand so far away from trying to give this a motive.
Yeah.
You know? And I still believe in my heart, if Katie would have came back, this wouldn't have happened. At least not in the manner that it did, because Katie would have been able to identify every single person.
Wow. And I find it crazy. There's 3 billionaires in that in the Moscow, Pullman area. How many small towns do you know that there would be 3 billionaires, dude?
It's
billion. I'm not talking millionaires. I'm not talking millionaires. I'm talking billionaires. Billionaires.
Money is the key to everything. You got money, you got power. Nobody want. If you broke, nobody want to hear you don't even have no opinion if you broke. Nobody want to hear nothing you got to say if you broke. What can you tell me? I don't want to hear. But when you got that money, people want to be under you. People gonna follow your lead, and people gonna become yes men to everything you say is yes. So with three billionaires in a small place like that, oh,
that's crazy.
That's trafficking going on.
Actually more, because you can talk about, and I'm not going to say the name because this video will be taken down. But there's owners of a certain house, that don't live there anymore. They're billionaires too, and they have an import-export business that shows no products nowhere. Try to find their products, dude. It's an
So
international import-export business that has no products listed.
hey, what you talk about Black House?
What's that? Pardon me?
What you talk about the Black House?
About the
The
what?
person that owned the Black House?
The person that owns a certain house there that things happened at, yeah.
Yeah, I know he's about King Road, but I'm saying the person he's talking about own the Black House. Do they own the Black House?
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking? You know what I'm talking about, Tommy?
yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
we're on the same. We're on the same path.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. The Idaho folks study going. Law enforcement.
Yeah.
I hope the FBI is investigating law enforcement because they the killers. In my heart, in the way I see things, everything I done seen, it lead right to the police. And the biggest thing they ever could have did to really stamp my opinion and my theory is tear down their house and bury it. And I feel like because law enforcement did, they was in the house. They got 3 unknown DNA male. They have not been tested. Why won't they turn it over? Is it possible police? I think it is.
Right. And they'll say, "Oh, it was during the investigation." That's what they'll say. You know what I mean?
Say that again.
If they do, let's say they hand over that to the defense, and the defense finds out it's LE. The LE is just gonna say it was during the investigation. They were left there.
They're always gonna try to have a cover up, and everybody's gonna say, "Yeah, man."
Yep.
These murders will never be. I feel like they will never be solved. I feel like Brian Kohlberger is the fall guy. He's going to beat this case, and the real killers walk free forever.
Yeah.
But my boy Murphy, Murphy know everything.
Yep. Yeah.
Murphy know everything. Murphy get on the stand. The judge gonna say, Murphy, what you know? What you see, Murphy? Murphy gonna say, Your Honor, Your Honor, Your Honor. I ain't really see nothing. But I heard a lot of screaming. The judge gonna say, Murphy, you sure you ain't see nothing? Murphy gonna say, I did see something, Your Honor. Yeah, what you see? I seen Jack. Well, Jack put me in the room.
Okay, here's the last question. Here's the last question. All right, and this is from one of my mods also. Once upon a crime time, ask if he thinks BK could be undercover.
It's a theory out there. He could be, but look at this. If people want to say he's undercover, right? Some people want to say he's undercover and possibly holding on until while they doing the investigation to get the real killer. If BK was undercover, what is he uncovering right now? He's in jail. What is he? Do they let him out at night to go? What can he uncover? Right. What is it? Is it that he wanted to become a cop to stop the corruption that maybe was in the department? That's why he's saying he was.
I think that's more what I think.
He was the undercover. That he's undercover because maybe he wanted to be the good cop that stopped the bad cops from all this corruption. Because him being undercover right now in jail is doing no good. Right. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Could he be in the
all right? Well, I'll tell you what. This has been a very entertaining night, brother. And we're definitely going to have you on again.
Anytime you want to have me on. If you're going to cover the Karen Reed case or whatever, because I've been on the Karen Reed and the Michael Miller case. I got my own thoughts on them too. You know, I got my own thoughts. If you cover that case, you want to bring me on, man, just email me, let me know. And we'll do that. Come on, man, we're going to get a real deal. Because that Karen Reed case, I'm in that deep too. Yeah, we're going to talk about that tomorrow in my group online.
All right. Okay. So check out his place at the Facebook there. And make sure you sub. You got a whole bunch saying that they subbed up to you, so you got some new ones over there, and a
Thank
lot of them are
y'all,
my
man.
family. Yeah.
I want to say,
So
Tommy, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know,
thank
for
you.
letting me onto your platform, for sharing your
Yeah.
platform with me, and
Yeah.
for let me just get what I feel is right in this case. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
law enforcement
It's got.
have it.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it feels good to
Yeah,
get it
man.
off
I
your
wanna thank you
behalf.
for that, man.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
always
welcome.
loyal to you for that. I'm always loyal to
And
you for that, man. Anything you need and think I can do, get at me.
thank you for being on. And uh, yeah, and we'll plan on another one soon. I'll,
Yeah.
you probably get an email from Kathleen. She's the one that keeps me straight, dude.
Hey, we got mine right here. Keep me straight. She keep me straight.
Right,
Um,
right.
I
You
want
gotta
to say
have a
thank you
woman
to
to keep
those.
you straight, dude.
You got to, man, because we'll go to the side a little bit now. Hey, they got them here. Get right now. Hey, I want to thank you to your whole chat, all your subscribers. I want to thank y'all for making me
My
feel welcome.
family.
Thank
It's
y'all
a good little
for
family.
interacting with me. Thank y'all. I want to
Yeah.
thank y'all. You know what I mean?
All
And
right.
everyone from the Wide Open Convo group that came and joined and subscribed to Once Upon a Crime Time, I want to thank y'all. Without
Yeah.
my group, I wouldn't be here. And I mean that from my heart.
Yeah, brother. All right, you take care, and I'll be seeing you on Facebook. I'm gonna go visit you over there now.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, we'll
Yes, sir. Salute.
we'll slam some more of those guilters.
Yeah. Let's go. I need some help. I need some help.
All right. Peace
Hey,
out,
thank you,
brother.
sir. Yes, sir.
Love
Thank
you,
you, sir.
man.
Love you, man.
Yep. Take
Thank you.
care.
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right, guys. I hope you had a lot of fun. Antoine is quite a character. He brings a lot of flavor to his theory, and his theory is pretty good. And it's a theory that we haven't really heard before. And I knew it would be good. I knew it would be good. And yeah, I hope you guys had a lot of fun. And we would definitely will have him back. There's no doubt about that in my mind. So yeah, and we got Friday. We have Willie coming into town. So and tomorrow night, don't forget Thou Shalt Not Kill True Crime. Rory's channel's on at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. It'll be Rory, Golf, and I on there. So that will be another fun one. So don't forget that. Like I said, this week is pretty full. So yeah, we're having some fun. No doubt about that. Okay, so anyway, yeah, let me see what my family's all been saying here. Yeah, and all the creators, I want to thank you for coming in and supporting Once Upon a Crime Time. I want to thank my mods for doing such an awesome job. You are the best mods in the business, and you know it. And to my crime family, I love you all very, very much. And my subs, you are on my heart, and my mods are my soul. And until next time, rock and roll.